Matthew 21 opens with a remarkable event known as the Triumphal Entry. As they approached Jerusalem and came to Bethphage on the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and at once you will find a donkey tied there, with her colt by her. Untie them and bring them to me." The disciples did as Jesus instructed, fulfilling the prophecy. "Say to daughter Zion, 'See, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey and on a colt, the foal of a donkey.'" Crowds spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and those that followed shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" This entry into Jerusalem signifies Jesus' acknowledgement as the Messiah by the people, a moment of celebration, yet filled with the impending shadow of his upcoming sacrifice. Upon entering Jerusalem, Jesus goes to the temple and is confronted by a scene of commerce and trade, where there should be prayer and worship. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. "It is written," he said to them, "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." The blind and the lame came to him at the temple, and he healed them. The chief priests and the teachers of the law saw the wonderful things he did, and the children shouting in the temple courts, "Hosanna to the Son of David," and they were indignant. This act of cleansing the temple challenges us to consider the sanctity of our places of worship and the purity of our worship practices. Jesus teaches a lesson about faith and the power of prayer through the withering of a fig tree. Early in the morning, as Jesus was on his way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, "May you never bear fruit again." Immediately the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer." This teaches us the importance of having genuine faith and the power it holds to enact change in our lives and the world. When Jesus returned to the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came to him as he was teaching and asked, "By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?" Jesus responded with a question of his own, illustrating the hypocrisy and spiritual blindness of his questioners. "I will also ask you one question. If you answer me, I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, where did it come from? Was it from heaven or of human origin?" They discussed it among themselves and said, "If we say, 'From heaven,' he will ask, 'Then why didn't you believe him?' But if we say, 'Of human origin,' we are afraid of the people, for they all hold that John was a prophet." So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." Jesus then said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things." This exchange challenges us to consider the source of our own beliefs and the authenticity of our spiritual leaders. Matthew 21 presents us with profound lessons on recognition of true authority, the necessity of faith, the sanctity of worship, and the rightful kingship of Jesus. It calls us to reflect on our own spiritual journey. Do we recognize Jesus as our Messiah? Are our places of worship pure? Do we possess the faith that moves mountains? Let's meditate on aligning our lives with the teachings and actions of Jesus, ensuring our hearts are places of true worship and faith.